everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now, when I reviewed the Velotric Discover 1, I called it budget e-bike perfection because it had everything that you would need out of an entry-level commuter e-bike, but it was no frills. This is the Velotric Discover 2, and it brings the frills. It promises to deliver everything that you need and what you would want out of a commuter e-bike. But does it live up to the hype? Let's find out. The Velotric Discover 2 is shipped as a Class 2 e-bike, which means the motor can work up to 20 miles per hour using the pedal assistance and its trigger thumb throttle. The Discover 2 can also be unlocked to higher speeds and become a Class 3 e-bike, which will open up the top speed to 28 miles per hour. It includes 3 riding modes, Eco, Trail, and Boost, with 5 pedal assist modes calibrated for each riding mode. The Discover 2 has a proprietary Velotric 750 watt rear hub motor that delivers up to 1100 watts peak and 75 Newton meters of torque. Speaking of torque, this next-gen Discover has a torque sensor. The UL certified battery operates at 48 volts using Samsung or LG cells with a capacity of 14.7 amp hours. That is equivalent to 705.6 watt hours. The battery is easily removable and can be charged on or off the bike. The bike comes with a 3 amp charger that should deliver a full charge in about 5 hours. The battery is also IPX7 water resistant, and Velotric says it can be submerged up to 30 minutes. Velotric says this combination can deliver a maximum range of 75 miles on pedal assist and 60 miles using the throttle only. The Discover 2 comes in an aluminum step-through frame with 4 color options including cherry crimson, stone gray, pine green, and mint that you see here. It comes in 2 frame sizes, with the regular frame accommodating riders between 4'11" and 5'9", and the large frame fitting riders between 5'6" and 6'4". The handlebar stem is adjustable up to 60 degrees. The bike is IPX6 rated for water resistance. The bike weighs 63 pounds and can support a total maximum payload capacity of 440 pounds. The rear cargo rack alone can support up to 66 pounds. These are Tektro hydraulic brakes with 180mm rotors. The 8-speed shifter and Altus derailleur are made by Shimano. The front fork hydraulic suspension has 80mm of travel, and the Kenda e-bike puncture-resistant tires are 27.5 inches in diameter and 2.4 inches wide. The color display is all new and has the ability to connect to your phone with Bluetooth and the Velotric app. Their app lets you record rides, including with photos, share your rides with third-party apps like Strava, adjust your ride modes and top speed, engage auto lights, cruise control, and it gives you the ability to turn the throttle limiter off so you can accelerate to top speeds in any pedal assist mode. There is also a USB-C port under the computer controller to keep your phone charged using the bike's power while you ride. The integrated 130 lux headlight and taillights with turn signals are standard. The Discover 2 also comes with aluminum fenders and a rear rack that has MIK accessory compatibility, which makes installing different bags, baskets, and other accessories on the rear rack very easy. Although Velotric doesn't have many MIK compatible accessories on their website yet, I'll link some that I like in the description below. Discover 2 owners get Velotric's 2-year warranty and access to their growing dealer network consisting of over 1,000 locations. These retailers make test drives possible and improve the service experience. Well, those specs are as good as it gets for this category and for the price, so let's see how it rides. All right, so we're starting off the Velotric Discover 2 ride with no pedal assist on. Actually, this is very easy and comfortable to ride with no power, so if you run out of battery, you're not gonna have any issue here. So let's start moving up into these pedal assist modes. I am so excited to see how the power is on this bike in comparison to the first generation. Move up into that first pedal assist mode. Woo! Did give me a big boost of power once I basically hit over a certain mile per hour. All right, so I'm in the first pedal assist mode. This now has a torque sensor. So let's move up with the shifter. I love this style of shifter. It's just a thumb and index finger adjustment from Shimano, tried and true. Well, as I push harder on this torque sensor, it does give me a little bit more power, but even in that first pedal assist mode, I can get a good amount of help. Still pretty mild, so let's keep moving up into these pedal assist. I like how on this colored display, it changes colors with the pedal assist, so it's much easier for you to read and tell which mode you're in. Let's give it up to 3. Not too much of a difference between 1 and 2. 3 better. All right, now we're in business. 4th pedal assist, easy up into about 20 miles per hour. Once you get over 20, it seems to stop assisting you. Thank you. Very helpful to have a horn on here. I typically like to see at least some form of communication with a bell, or my preference is an electric horn, but that does come in handy when you're riding on trails or commuting with traffic. All right, watch out, little guy. Works for squirrels too. All right, let's go 5th pedal assist. See. So at 20 miles per hour with the 5th pedal assist, it actually cuts off the power. So I believe with this bike in particular, you have the ability to open it up into a class 3 to take it up to faster speeds. I haven't unlocked it yet, but I can probably do that here through this new computer screen, which I will say I'm very impressed with. I love the colors associated with it, clean, crisp design. This is still a pretty quiet bike considering it's got a powerful motor. It's especially quiet in the pedal assist. Let's turn around, make our way in the other direction, and I'll actually do a throttle test. Let's start right here in the tunnel. Okay, so it's a new throttle design. Actually, it's just a finger lever right below the computer controller. So let's give it a shot and see how the throttle responds. All right, to 20 miles per hour, pretty quick. Good power delivery. Now this also has hydraulic brakes, so nice and powerful. If you're gonna have a bike that goes pretty quick, you wanna have good stopping power, and this definitely has that. It stops on a dime, so really nice brakes that we have here. I love the full coverage fenders. The riding position on this bike is extremely, extremely comfortable. Now, that was one of the reasons why I liked the first generation. The handlebars sweep back so you can sit more upright, and the grips are wonderful. Nice rubberized texture, have some texture on them so that they don't slip when it's warm out and your hands get a little sweaty. And woo, this saddle, this is a good saddle. This is a really nice, wide, comfortable saddle, especially since I'm in this upright position. I feel like it's supporting a lot of my upright weight, and I'm really happy about that. I feel like I could ride for a really long period of time and not be uncomfortable. All right, so I've actually been riding this bike in boost mode and have tested out the 5 different pedal assist modes as it comes out of the box, but I have now unlocked the bike to go higher speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. So now technically it's a class 3 e-bike. It does take a second for the throttle to kick in once you push it back, but
Just note that the throttle is attached to the pedal assist modes, so, all right. Now I'm up to about 26 miles per hour or so. So the throttle performance is really nice when you unlock it. And I could see this be very beneficial as a commuter bike going through places with traffic and things like that. Highly effective. You really want to be thoughtful on doing that on trails like this, but especially if you got people walking around. Now, not only do you have 5 different pedal assist modes, but there are also 3 riding modes, and you can change those either while you're riding on the bike. There's a button underneath this control pad here, and once you press them, you'll notice right on the screen, it cycles through boost, eco, or trail. The bike is going to perform differently based on those different assist modes. Trail is really designed to have the performance that's ideal for gravel paths and things like that. I'm gonna actually move it into eco mode because I've been mostly riding it in boost mode. And I can definitely tell it's an incredible difference between the performance in the boost mode versus the eco mode. It is a much smoother transition of power. And I could see this being very helpful if you are just kind of cruising along and want a little bit of assistance. One of the really cool things about this next generation of the Discover is that they've included cruise control. So if you are using this as a commuter bike, that is a really great feature to have. So let's get that activated. Say I want to hold my speed here at 13 miles per hour. You'll notice the little indicator has come on and it is going to hold that speed for me so that I don't need to hold that throttle back, which is great considering this doesn't have any rubberized texture or anything. And then you just deactivate it by pumping the brakes and then it goes back to normal. Love that feature though. So I think it's time to head back and I'm gonna share my final thoughts on this new Velotric Discover 2. All right, now that I've spent some time riding around on the Velotric Discover 2, let me share some of the improvements that I'd like to see and some of the strengths I think this bike has going for it. But first, when I reviewed the Discover 1, there were a lot of aesthetic things that I really enjoyed about that bike, and that included the matte paint finish, the very subtle graphic of where it said Velotric on the bike. It also had gum wall tires, and this bike has none of that. Now, that doesn't mean that this is an ugly bike by any means, but I do prefer that aesthetic of the first bike over this one. The Discover 1 also had some tactile elements that I preferred, which included the rubberized texture on the throttle. Now, I don't have a long list of improvements, so this is the final one I want to talk about, and it's rather minor, but I do love the idea that they have included turn signals with the Velotric Discover 2, but right now, as it sits, when I turn the turn signals on, I have to press the button again to turn them off. And I wish that maybe somehow in the software, I could actually have the option to have it only click a certain amount of times, maybe 10 times or so, and then them automatically shut off. So maybe that is a firmware update they could push to the bike and we would be able to see in the future. Speaking of the firmware updates, that brings me to the positives. Starting off with technology, it is state of the art. I love that they have incorporated things like Apple Find My for location tracking, and the app is really nice. I like that it has the ability to record rides. You can change all your bike settings in there so you don't have to go through this computer display. But the computer display here is also really nice. I love how it's colored. It has big font and text and a lot of adjustability. And now they include things like automatic headlights and cruise control, which make this more viable and more utilitarian as a commuter bike. Now, not only is the technology awesome, but this bike comes with everything you need. It has an integrated front light, rear light, love those turn signals as I mentioned. It also has a rear rack back here with 66 pounds of capability. It had fenders so you can be comfortable and covered while you're riding even in wet conditions. So I love to see how many things are included with this bike. Another highlight for me is the performance. The motor here delivers great power. It can get you up to speed depending on how you want to. That's the thing. This thing is so customizable, whether you want to put it in the 3 different riding modes or use the 5 different pedal assists, whether you want to unlock it up to the top speed of 28 miles per hour or keep it capped at 20. There's a lot of variety here, and you can really make this bike exactly how you want it. And the delivery of that power is done so well through the torque sensor that they've incorporated in this bike. But there's more to performance than just the motor and torque sensor here. The suspension has handled bumps very well as I've been riding it, and these brakes, the hydraulics, are really wonderful and stop on a dime. Now, comfort is another big strength, not only because this is a wide and comfortable saddle here, but also you have the adjustment here on the stem to be able to sit in an upright position if you want, and the handlebars sweep back towards the rider, so you can really get that upright feel if you want, but the key here is that it is flexible and you can make it what you want. The other thing is that this is a very deep step through. So I can see this being very beneficial for all types of riders, whether you have mobility issues or if you're older. It is easy to get on and off. Another thing that has impressed me about this bike is the improvements for safety. And that's because this is a UL certified bike for the electronics and also for the battery now. It's 2271 rated. And basically what that means is that you have the maximum assurance of battery fire safety. So when you go to plug this into your house, you can feel safe. Another element of that is that this battery is waterproof. Actually, Velotric wanted me to put this in a laundry cycle because they said that this battery can withstand up to 30 minutes submerged in water. Now, I'm not gonna test that out, but that is really wonderful to know because a lot of times I'll put an e-bike on the back of my car and I'll be driving for long distances. And when it's torrential downpours, I get a little nervous that maybe something might get into the computer system or into the battery and get wet and maybe damage my bike. But with this high IPX rating, I think we're in good condition with this one. The final strength of the Discover 2 has to be the brand. Now, I've reviewed a lot of Velotric bikes and they seem to be continuing to improve model after model and raising the bar as they continue to do so. Now, I have a lot of family and friends who have Velotric bikes and they said they've been really happy with their experience so far. Well, thank you so much for watching this latest review of the Velotric Discover 2. If you want to learn more about this bike, then see the link in the description below. I also have a coupon code there for you if you want to save a little bit off on this bike. And until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.